I don't know where she gets her cuteness from. Must be her daddy. Good
No.
morning, everybody. We are live.
Good
I'm
morning.
Jess. I beat you to it. I'm Jess.
I'm Julie.
And together we are socially inclined.
That's right. That when you said the hi Jess the first time, it almost was like in another room or something. Crazy sounding. Anyway,
Good morning.
let me pull up Facebook to see. So we're live on YouTube as well. If you happen to be catching us here, be sure to leave a comment and subscribe if you're on YouTube. We are
Yes.
actively working to build our YouTube.
Good morning, Mary Alice, Marcy. Thank you, ladies, for watching for us. I feel like you guys, we can count on you guys. It's always so great to see the consistent love and support. This morning is coffee and questions. So we're going to talk for a few minutes about the customer journey, which sounds so elusive. It's cracking me up. Sounds so elusive. But it's really not. When we started talking through it, it's like, this is basic stuff. And you'll know if you're getting it wrong because you'll have leads, but people aren't buying.
Right.
Who knows what that feels like?
Exactly. I mean, we do. And there's a place for, like, of course, everyone that comes into your sphere, you would love for them to buy from you. Okay. I mean, that's the name of the game. That's how you stay in business. But it's not always going to happen because there's just people, you got to think about where people are, in their business. They may not be able to purchase from you right now, but as long as you're given the free value, all of the things, you never know, 2 years from now, they may be in a place and remember you and appreciate the value. So even if they're not buying, even if there are some, they're still valuable to you. But we want to turn more of them into buyers with the customer journey.
Exactly. I'm sharing this video. I don't know about you, Julie.
Oh, I can. Let's see.
But I'm doing it.
Maybe. Let's see.
All right. Here we go.
Right post.
Got it. All right. Exactly. Nikki, that's such a great way to put it. Some aren't ready. Love on them. Just love on them anyway.
Exactly.
That's such a wonderful reframe over this. No one's actually buying, which can be frustrating.
Exactly. Same thing happens like in whatever the medium is. So if you've got a Facebook group and you're providing all this value, but you're not converting, again, there's things that we can do to right the ship there. But those free people, they might be your biggest fan. Okay. They may share your posts with other people. They may invite to your lives. There's so many other things that are great there. So, but we want to turn as many as we can. So the customer journey.
Exactly. And it's also for clients like that, it's important to remember that not everybody can buy
right
at a certain time. And I think that's why we're compelled to give away so much free value and do these lives and things. Because everyone needs this service, but not everyone can afford, to invest in their business, especially when they start. We have a very broad spectrum of purchasing ability within our ideal client. So this customer journey thing was really hard for us to get right for the longest time, and I think it's still kind of dynamic and moving. But being aware of your customer journey and where someone comes into it and where someone might be on the spectrum and appreciating them anyway is kind of key to being what I would call a good business owner.
Exactly. And by the customer journey, basically, if you just want to look at the easy way to look at it, is basically it's where they come into your system, and then you need to decide what you want them to do once they get there. So the customer journey are all the steps in between. and you can set those steps and navigate those steps for them, make it really easy for them.
Exactly. And it may be a short journey if you're just if you have like an Etsy shop, for instance, or e-commerce. That's a pretty short journey. Someone's going to come in contact with your content. Perhaps you provide them with a freebie or something that serves or helps them, and then they're going to go right into buying your products, which are pretty low priced. But when you have something like Nikki, who has a financial services, or if you're something like a bankruptcy attorney, or even our spectrum is quite large. We go from $5 products to $5,000 products. Everyone's going to be at a different part of that, and everyone's going to need to be served in a different way.
For sure. And a simplified approach to this is thinking about, you're casting the net. We talk about that with social media, but the same with this is that you're putting things out there, and then you've got to define what that first step would be. So a lot of times it's going to be a freebie, free tips, a free video, a lead magnet, which is like some PDF ebook, or it could be a discovery call, but typically it's going to start with something free that you are introducing them, because you got to think they don't know you yet. It's the whole building know, like, and trust thing. So whether they're coming in from a Facebook ad, whether they're coming from a social post, whether they are opting in or someone shared an email with them, you've got to know that they don't know you yet. So that free step is the first thing most people lead with. And again, we've done trainings on lead magnets and that creating that freebie. The next step, let's talk about like the value ladder. You may have heard that term before. So the value ladder, you start with something free, then you build them up to something that is like $7 or $17 or $27. Then you take them a step higher than that. That's a little more
$100.
Yeah, something that's a little harder to get them to purchase if they don't know you yet. All right. And then you keep taking them up your value ladder. Okay. That's the customer journey, where they start and where you want them to be. And then most of the time you want them to be in your highest ticket, whatever it is. So, and it's different for every niche. So for us, it'd be like one-on-one services. For
exactly.
Yeah, for someone in finance, it'd be, again, maybe a one-on-one service or done for you service.
Exactly. So, I had a thought while you were talking, but then that was so good that it just took me there. But your content is kind of the most basic entry level part to the customer journey, right? Because that's how you get leads. Yes, there are businesses out there that start with Facebook ads. We do, but we're on a different chapter than a lot of our new business owners. So I don't want you to get bogged down thinking about capturing leads through Facebook ads or anything like that, but just think about attracting someone on Instagram because you happen to have a hashtag that was on a nice post that you made that was full of value in social selling, and it brought you a new lead. So think about where they're going to go from there. Obviously, we talk about all the time, October 7th, was it? Facebook and Instagram were down for 8+ hours, and small business owners were losing their minds because they didn't have a backup for communicating. So getting someone from Facebook or from Instagram or from that social media profile into a more controllable space for you, like your email list, should be toward the very front, toward the very front of your customer journey, so that you can bring them in and nurture them. And I think that's probably the key to having a quiet space with limited distractions, so that they know what to do next and they're not distracted by a whole bunch of other voices and players in your niche.
You also have to think about, so I'm big on the why things work. So think about all the distractions that you just mentioned. If you're on social media, let's just say, and you happen to have a post that comes up, and that's the first introduction. Maybe your friend shared it and you happen to see it, and that's the first introduction to whatever you're looking at. So you go and you go look at their page, look at the posts, try to learn more about them. The possibility of them getting lost before they actually take any action is huge. So in thinking about the customer journey, you're wanting to hook them into being able to, so that freebie gets them on your email list or onto your page or whatever it is. It gives you that ability. But the biggest reason for this is because people's attention span is super short, especially on social media. And we, as business owners, take for granted that if they see our post, they know the next thing to do. That's why we talk all the time about how important it is to end every post with a call to action, because you have to lead them with what to do. And that's what the customer journey is you are leading them with the next step.
Yeah. So. And Nikki mentioned spoon feeding them. And I don't love that term because it seems so, I don't know, but it's so correct. Like that's really such a good way to describe it, because we talked about this in our call to action trainings and hooks and everything really that has to do with bringing people onto your list. We talk about how if you don't tell them what to do next, there is a nearly approaching 100% chance that they will not do that thing next. So telling them what to do next is really key. If you get our emails, let me know in the comments, because I want to bring up something here in a few minutes where we've kind of backed into our customer journey. And for those of you who have been getting our emails, you might have noticed the change that we've made in the last month or two that has a lot to do with our customer journey. But I'll come back to that in just a few minutes.
Okay. And again,
hey, good morning, Deanne. Glad you're here. Speaking of customer journey, we're doing this coffee and questions out of a request from you. She's got a pretty good customer journey laid out. We've been looking at it and analyzing it, and it's looking pretty rock star-ish. Tracy gets our emails. Nikki gets our emails. Marcy gets our emails.
Noticed. Yeah.
You've noticed? Okay. Hopefully in a good way, because there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And everything in marketing, someone's right way will be a 180 to what someone else tells you is wrong. But what we've started doing, I won't leave you guys hanging
too long.
In case you're watching this live and you got to go wash your dogs or get back to work or whatever it is. What we started doing about a month ago is putting a PS in our emails. And that PS is kind of our customer journey. The very top thing is download the free Your Social plan. The second thing is to become a content subscriber to Your Social plan. So again, not an out of reach cost, but still of interest to anybody who we might serve. And then we go into something like content class, which is part of Socially Inclined Academy, something very low cost, again, that's going to help people build their business, experience our value, and get to know, like, and trust us. And then from there, we have another way that we serve through our Take Action training workshops. And then ultimately, we do 3-hour work sprints, and that's our highest priced, kind of most, like you get Julie and me for 3 hours dedicated to whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, that is significantly more of an investment than the cost of a monthly YSP subscription. But that is where you can kind of see how our customer journey has morphed. And we like to put that in front of, our clients, the people on our list, the people who are learning more about us with every message, so that they know how we can help. And hopefully it's done in a way that's not like, this is what you need to buy next, but instead, how can we help you? Here are 5 ways that we can work together.
And no matter where you are, something from free to high ticket is there, and you can you can see. We take for granted all the time that people understand what it is that we as business owners provide. And that's not always the case, because you've got to think they may have just came into knowing you. That one post, it might be the first introduction. So that's why setting up your website, setting up your profiles so that are very clear as to the things that you do. And then one point, because we will have people that only have one product or only have one thing, and that's okay too. So we have a lot of things to offer. If you only have one, there are other things that you can do. You can have a discovery call. You can have some type of free lead magnet. You can invite them to your group, just straight up for a coupon code to get on your mailing list. So there's many, many ways to get them to take the next step. So you hear a lot about micro steps in business. It takes, it used to be like 7, we call touches, before someone would buy from you. Now that is because of all of the micro content that's out there and things, that number is actually more. So they have to see more posts. They have to see more email, whatever it is that's out there. So getting lost in all that, if you can continue to drive home what your customer value, customer journey is, then you're going to lose less people and actually convert them into buyers. And that's what you're trying to do. So again, it's typically, there are cases where someone can find your post and buy something right away, but that's not always the case. So we're trying to keep them from getting lost or falling out in the process.
Exactly. And for those of you who hate sales, that's me. That's me. In fact, spoiler alert and truth bomb time, that was my biggest hesitation in kind of becoming more of a front role for socially inclined, because I do not like selling. I was in network marketing for a long time. Actually, it's like 3 or 4 years, and I did really well at it, but I was never a top coach because I could not be as in your face as those girls seem to be. So a couple of you have chimed in, and it has literally, it's going to make my week. It's going to make my March. But Marcy says she loves our subliminal messaging. I'm not so sure about subliminal, but I like that last part of not in your face of buy me, buy me, buy me. And Tracy has noticed, and it actually makes it so much easier to know clearly where you can help. So now I have my wish list after scrolling through that list. So again, girls, that makes me so happy, because seriously, I haven't been in sales that long. I was in coal sales, which for some reason that was a whole lot easier to sell $100 million of coal on a contract than it seems to me to sell marketing products, But we worked through it, and Julie's taught me so much. She teaches everyone so much. But that whole social selling aspect of it that we talk about all the time on our lives, on our blogs, on all of that, is kind of where that comes from.
Exactly. I'm the one that does. I love sales. Love sales. I love high ticket sales. If anything ever happens, I'm going to get a sales job somewhere, but that's actually not going to be the case. So I want to talk really quick about network marketing, because we do attract a lot of network marketers into our group, and they may be thinking, I'm not sure how this applies to me. I sell, whether it be skincare or fitness or whatever, you still can deliver the customer journey. So same thing applies to you. You're looking to get people on a list so that you can market to them via email. So what is it that you can provide, whether it be a skincare tutorial, a workout, a fitness planner, whatever it is, you want to create your freebie first and then lead from there, and then decide what's the next step. So Jessica, that was her thing. She did that for a long time in fitness, for anyone that doesn't know. So, and exactly. she had a lead magnet. So she used this technique, the customer journey technique.
Yeah. And I think
she was good at sales, by the way.
Yeah, because Julie kind of plucked me from obscurity. But I think that was kind of key to me staying in it and to having the success I did. But what I did not get right, or I didn't get really right in time, was before I decided to kind of switch focus into this whole entrepreneurial success leader, marketing strategist, whatever you want to call me. These days, I have so many hats, it's kind of scary. But I did not know anything about email marketing. So if you are in direct sales and you have the finances to spare on our Take Action training program, if you can get in there and just watch the email marketing, there's like 2 of them, and then we do some of them on lead magnets and things like that. I think if I had had that missing piece, I could have gone, from a premier coach to an elite coach or even a top coach, because that would have been the avenue for me over direct messaging, the 3 vital behaviors, et cetera, et cetera. So
I think a lot of people don't get that. Well, they get, because if you're in network marketing, you have a ton of competition. So no matter if it's network marketing or whatever business you're in, there's a ton of competition out there. So again, spoon feeding, if you will, what you're trying to get them to do, what's in it for them. We just had a training on what's in it for them. That's what people care about. What can you do for me? They don't care that you have something to sell. They really don't. Sorry that tough love, but it's the end result. So again, when you're thinking about the customer journey, you're looking at it from the backwards approach, from the end game, when you're mapping that out. So, and our Take Action training did a lot of customer journey in that, all the steps that you need.
Exactly. Can you drop that link while I had a point I was going to talk about? One more thing. So how to stand out when there is a dizzying amount of competition. So our space is totally flooded. There's no shortage of people who do things, marketing experts, et cetera, et cetera. I am of a very strong opinion that less than 0.01% of them have as much experience as Julie and I do combined. But that doesn't mean that the market's not flooded for us. The same will go for you in network marketing. If you're in a direct selling structure like Beachbody, Bellamy, Advocare, LuLaRoe, Unique, Rombarer, the basket company. Longaberger. Rombauer is a really good wine company. Any of those. But then, I can't really think of a niche that's not super flooded.
Right. It's,
and everyone has competition.
And now so what's so different in business now than it used to be is that everything was brick and mortar, and you only had to compete with what was in your local town. So there might only be 2 of what you do, or 10, or whatever it is. Online levels the playing field.
Sure does.
It can be great when you're set up to be great. Does that make sense? Like, you can look as large as you want to look online. You can be a 1-person show, but look like you've got a staff of 100 if you wanted to. So
exactly,
the online space is amazing for growth. So when you harness it correctly and you get your customer journey correct, I think that's the main thing, is like turning the people, and capturing them.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just looking through this list, like Deanne's space flooded, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have way more experience than, again, probably 99.99% of the people in her space.
Sure. And for the people that don't know Deanne, she's a success coach or life coach.
But she's got a lot of like history, she's got like real experience in psychiatry and social work and things like that, which is it's a lot different. And that's what we're kind of helping her uncover with some of our one-on-one services, is that's a lot different than someone who paid $99 to become a certified mindset coach.
Right.
So if you have that in your arsenal, you need to make sure that you put that front and center. And that was what started this whole spiel, which kind of got out of control, is what can you do to set yourself apart? If you're in network marketing, then it's any kind of expertise that you have surrounding your products and your niche. It's also your freebie is going to set you apart. Having a landing page that's separate from your company's website that kind of teaches them who you are and how you serve differently than representative A, B, C, D, E, F, G to infinity. What is it that sets you apart? And being able to pull those things out and show them on your customer journey what it is that makes you different is how you're going to set yourself apart.
And I'm smiling because I get to say it. So remember, people do business with people. So I get that in almost every live. So by setting yourself apart, that's what people are drawn to. Like they want to learn to know you, like you, trust you, eventually buy from you. So authenticity and then showing up. Those are the keys to making this work and then leading them down the path. But if you don't show up and you aren't being real, then people aren't necessarily attracted to you. So
exactly.
And that's ultimately what makes you stand out and makes the whole thing go. So the customer journey, you've got to hook them in, and that's the thing that hooks them.
Love it. Okay, so any questions about customer journey? Anyone need clarification? Anyone in a niche that they feel like that's not for me? There's no way a customer journey is going to work because I want to change your mind right now while we still have a little time. And then if you don't have a question about customer journey, the last 30 minutes is about you and your question. So you can drop any business or marketing question into the comment and we will take them.
Exactly.
Awesome. This is good. I work for you. I have access to over 150 plus top A rated companies is what makes her different. There you go. That would definitely be a UVP. Oh my gosh, listen to me. Value proposition for working with you.
Exactly. We talked about those in Take Action as well. we talked about just about everything in Take Action trainings.
Exactly. We didn't talk about blogging, but then we did a really dynamite free coffee and questions the 1st of 2022 that I thought was really good. And then we followed that shortly by SEO, which so much free value. You got to go back and watch that if you guys did not. All right.
Oh, Tracy's got a question. You can go.
Woo woo.
You read and we'll figure it out.
All right. How do you figure out your customer journey and how many offers you should have on the journey? I have the first is a freebie and the last is one-on-one VIP. But what goes in the middle?
Okay. Let me first say, because everybody's in a different spot, a different chapter in their business. Okay. So the thing to do is exactly, who is this? Tracy. This is where Tracy is. So most of the time you don't even have a freebie when you start. So you're going to start with that freebie because that's what you got to get them to come in. And then you're reverse engineering from the VIP. So from there, everybody might not be in the place to start building that middle. All right. But obviously Tracy is. And to begin with, it's one. And I would say my opinion is you're taking them from free and you need to go ahead and have something that's very low cost somewhere. It's typically suggested to be between $7 and $50, something like that, or $5 and $50. That way, because most people won't just jump straight to your VIP. But they will if they like what you are about. If you have something that will work for them, they will easily spend under $50 with you to test it out. So And those can be anything from micro products, planners, toolkits, a small product.
A little paint packet.
Yeah.
The DIY ones we were talking about. She's the cat whiskers. I get it confused because we also have the wolf's glitter wolf arts or something, who is Kim. But yeah, Tracy, just take one of those and take one of your we talked about it in content class. Sorry, I'm trying to like not give away all the goodness that we talked about in content class, but you can take those the art DIY boxes. That could easily be, because I imagine your one-on-one VIP is going to be more expensive than $50.
I would think so. So, and these are different. So she is, an e-commerce type, real physical product. So it's almost, and most people think that physical products are easier because you already have the product. So typically, and she does have the product. So that should be, or from what we talked about in content class, she does have a product and that should be it, depending on the price. And still people will pay if it's over 50, like if it's over 50, even if it's 100, if that's what you have ready, then that's what it should be.
Yep. Your date night art kit. Yeah. There you go. Ship it anywhere for $75 or $49 if you can manage a small one.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can have a little card that goes into that. Did you love this? How about a virtual one-on-one next time? You bring the wine, I'll bring the inspiration, starting at $297 or, whatever your one-on-one is.
Right.
Love it. That was a great question, because your niche is hard. It's a little bit more nuanced, I would say, than some of the ones that we just don't have that many people in that kind of setup. So it's fun. I enjoy the challenge, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, she said she made those yesterday. So cool. She's going to share them in her group. Awesome. I can't wait to see how that goes over. I think that's great.
Yeah, let me know, because I would totally buy a date night paint set. I don't know how much Justin would be into it, but if I said I want to do this, I bet you he'd be all about it. Okay, Deanne's got a question. Fabulous. One of her major challenges is the consistency of marketing to her email list and promoting her weekly live trainings. I'm working on creating systems, though I'd love some tips on simplifying promoting live weekly trainings and a weekly email. Yep.
Okay.
No easy answer except
There's not. There are shortcuts. You can create templates for these. If you're on our email list, you may have noticed that we started recently a Friday recap email that recaps. So that serves as a weekly email for us when we mail more than once, but that serves as a weekly email. We recap the 3 live trainings that we had that week and kind of how it went. And then I'm in book mode, foreshadow, whatever. We tell you what's happening next week. And then we're giving you prompts to hopefully you'll want to show up, or one of them is a paid. So to get in for the paid one. It is building, know, like, and trust. It's establishing consistency. There's lots of reasons. We have the PS down there with our customer journey. So for you, Deanne, you could do the same thing because you have lives. So you can recap what you talked about. So you put some kind of description in when you did the lives, I'm sure. So just grab a little synopsis of them. I mean, it takes a minute to do those. That Friday recap, I'm so glad Jess does it. It does take a minute. And I'm not sure right now how wildly, I mean, the open rates are good, but I don't know how much people are really, really reading them, but we're going to start burying something in there.
Yeah. So, the other thing I think we're going to do this week, and you can watch for it. Hopefully you don't get tired of our emails, but I think I'm going to snip out the recap part of the Friday email and send a mark your calendar on Sunday nights. Oh, that's so sweet. We all need a Jess in our world. And send out an email that says, mark your calendars for this week on Sunday night, so that they have the 3 right there. And you don't have to read through the recap, because the recap was there on Friday.
Yeah. We send prior to going live, almost every live, we'll have a T-30 or a T-1 hour, or, oh my gosh, live in 5, if it's one that we're having to do in like we didn't pre-do it, but those can be pre-set up. You can set up automation you just wouldn't be talking about, if it's automated, you could set it up every week. If you go live at 10 o'clock, you could set it up. Hey, don't forget our live where we talk about these things. It's not going to be the specific thing you're talking about, but that can serve as automation for that as well, just to get people are busy. Remember that customer journey and how distractions and things. We have a lot of people that show up with us all the time. Myself, I am like overwhelmed with joy that they do, because you're making a commitment to show up with us. So, and we don't take that lightly. So you'd like to do the same in your business. So you've got to remind them, to show up with you.
Yeah. And the one thing that I have learned with Julie shoving me, not nudging me, but like shoving me along, is that you have to send way more emails than you probably think you should.
For sure.
And that's something that I even still have a little hard time swallowing. And, we get one-on-one clients who are like, there's no way I could join the ranks of someone opting in and then having 8 emails across 8 days or 2 weeks. But the reality is just like your social posts, they are almost definitely going to miss half of them or more.
Really?
And you want to make sure that they get one of them. And then even if I know a lot of you who are on watching us live right now, you probably do watch our emails because you've, for whatever reason, come to look forward to them. You like our lives, so you want to make sure you don't miss one, like whatever your reason is. But our list is almost 8,000 people. So that can kind of give you a gauge of how many are actually going to open and act on your email. So Deanne, that's where I would say, yes, do your Friday recap, do your Sunday, what to expect from me. It takes a little bit of forethought on the front end about what you're going to talk about the next week, but it kind of sets people's expectations and, kind of helps them create time in their busy schedule to show up with you.
Sure. We talk about in content class, repurposing, taking whatever content and repurposing it in many ways. Email is one of those ways. So there's no reason if you wrote a blog post that you can't, give the first synopsis of it and go read it here. That serves as email. You're providing value, give your take on it. Again, there are some people that might unsubscribe if you emailed them every day or whatever the number is for them. But really and truly, they are not your people if they do. If they are finding value in what you're sending, they're not going to unsubscribe. So if they unsubscribe, they weren't going to buy from you anyway. So I lend to leading with value, and that goes for email as well.
Exactly. Good morning, Allison. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Allison.
Tracy, again, I'm pretty sure you already made my week once, but she marks her calendars, but she appreciates the reminder email. It's definitely what got her to be consistent here. And you guys definitely don't over email. I will remember that and take that to heart and announce publicly that Julie was right.
Ooh.
That what's coming up this week email would also force me to actually plan ahead and prep for my live trainings. Girl,
for sure. That's where it's at.
We need a Friday recap email. I was like, we don't even know what we're going to talk about today. How are we going to do this? But really, once we did it the first time, and then I just started coming up with the topics and told Julie what we were going to talk about. So
right now, and so since then, so now we have this master file. I don't even know if you've seen it. So I've got like 20 Marketing Monday topics in there for us. Yay! I'm a batcher, remember? So she can pick them. But I've got an idea bank. Hey, Gabrielle.
Yeah. Deanne, once you do it once, it will help.
It is, and then you can just copy that same email, and then you drop your new stuff in. I mean, granted, there are a lot of steps. This whole be everywhere thing that you have to do online. I mean, you got to find a system to make it work. Just to come live today and to share on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, like, there's got to be the description written, the title written, the
thumbnail created.
Exactly.
Because YouTube is a little prissy.
It wants it all. It wants it all. You could go and add it after, but like if we're going through the trouble to be live, and doing it ahead of time. But again, it's so worth it once you can get into a routine, but not everybody is at the same place. So you baby steps, baby steps.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see.
Marcy agrees with Tracy. Oh, my little reactions are in the way. Hold on. 100%. I love the way you explain and make me look at how to from a comfortable perspective. Oh, thank you.
Right. I think that's that. I mean, I love that what, why, where. I mean, what, why, how, where, what, why, how framework. People, the why for me is so important because, you've got so many people telling you all the different things to do. I need to know why I need to do it, like what I get from doing it. So that's the approach we take with really trying to explain anything, why it's important.
Exactly. And Gabrielle, I need to really learn all of these tips and tricks. Definitely want to get to where I plan ahead. I think the biggest thing, we hadn't talked about grit, grind, and grace yet, but I think the biggest thing there is grace, because it's the 9th or 10th week of 2022. And I remember having a few weeks in February where I felt like we were on top of everything, but that was it. And I think the secret to that is to functioning in that space is to kind of accepting the fact where, yes, you might be planning ahead and you may feel ahead some weeks, but then some weeks you're just going to be behind. Our plate is so unbelievably full. But then you figure out where you're serving the most people, what's bringing you the most joy, and you're focusing on that. And that is where I think that's where the magic in building a business comes from.
Correct. And it's just baby steps along the way. If you can add one little more thing, that's where you grow.
Exactly. Also, sometimes you just have to do it. Plan ahead.
Yeah. The plan.
30 minutes to plan ahead today.
Yeah. I need to be in a plan ahead space, which is sort of weird, but I like to have a plan because our plate is so full. So I need to know where it fits in.
Exactly.
Accountability. Yes, Nikki. And having it planned ahead helps with that too. I mean, if you send an email that you're going live on Thursday at 11 o'clock, well, you better be there. That's some accountability. And what you're going to be talking about, because people, will be there dialed in, to learn about it. And It doesn't have to be as hard as it seems either. Like back to a planning ahead, like if what your topic is going to be. If you'll go look, they're not super specific. We haven't delved into what was this Marketing Mondays? Jess, do you remember? Like it was very
you remember? It's not all about you. It's not all about you.
Yeah. She's like, we can take this one anywhere, whatever. I was like, and it wasn't even going to be, it's not all about you. It was something else. And I was like, oh, let's do it.
Content creation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I just kept it real broad because I think Julie had a crazy Friday, so I didn't really have time to confirm a topic with her. But marketing Mondays are supposed to be content themed because we're talking about what to post that week, right?
Mm-hmm. So or engagement, getting engagement, something like that. Yeah.
And then coffee and questions, that topic can literally be anything.
Yep. So if y'all have anything else, you'll be bringing it. So.
Exactly. Yeah, Gabrielle, definitely Grace. I don't care what anybody says, building a business is hard.
Oh, it's hard.
It is hard. I mean, even if you're in network marketing and your upline's telling you, it wasn't that hard, and I started making 4 figures a month, it was hard. I promise. It was hard. So having that grace and being able to get back up when you inevitably fall down is absolutely crucial, because nothing is going to work all the time. And most things probably aren't going to work the first time.
Oh my gosh. For real. It's like, whoops, we're going to have to do over on that one. Yeah. So, and again, comparison is just a killer. So you cannot, and when you're in network marketing, especially because you're looking directly at your upline that's doing whatever, and they don't always share how hard it was.
No, it's not in their best interest to.
Exactly, because they wanted to make it, which is counterproductive to me, because they want to make it look like, oh, all rosy and whatever. But you have to, in any business, you have to put the work in to make it work. I mean, there's no just free ride when it comes to making money online at all. So I think that, I guess, authenticity of showing, like we'll come out and say, hey, we messed up, all the time.
This did not work.
Yep. Do over.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Tracy, for that. You're so in the right place. Aw. Love it. We try. I'm the beginner. I'm the baby biz. I've only been doing it for 6 years. I was in corporate for 2.5 before that. And I guess I have a business degree. But Julie has been like in the trenches since the internet.
Since ever.
Take which is impossible because she's only 29. Take what is for you and leave what's not. Oh, that's wonderful. You do have this, Gabrielle. Show up with us more. You'll love it.
Exactly.
And if you don't, tell us. We'll fix it.
Yeah. And that's what we try to deliver in bite-sized pieces, because literally if we wrote down a list of things that you needed to do, you'd look at that and be like, whatever, that's not happening. So baby steps, and everything builds on the next thing. So, and we definitely have a lot of shortcuts. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. Nikki, did you call us the queen of tweaks? Because
I thought it said the queen of twerks.
If you, no, because, no, I do not.
I do not.
When Miley Cyrus did that, I was like, wow, I don't think I could. I don't think I moved that way. I was ballerina, not that. I struggled at hip hop. Nikki, the queen of tweaks. That's awesome. Deanne, we love it when you say that. We really do.
I think for me, I didn't read the whole thing, but thank you. I think the thing that you should know being here and join our lives is that this is the real place that you can ask real question and people will give you the real answer and really try to help you. That's what we're trying to build, community here where everyone helps everyone, because it doesn't, if they're not in the same niche, it's fine. Business is business, sales is sales, social is social. It works across the board. So, and we touched on, so for anybody new here, gritgrindinggrace.com, it's the sister site to this that's more mindset, giving grace, how hard it is in business. We're just launching that. So you can check it out too. I guess I can drop it here. But there'll be goodness.
A lot of you have side hustles. This is mine.
Right. We weren't busy enough.
All right, I posted the link in case you want to go check it out.
Oops, I did too. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't see
Overwhelmed.
yours though. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, every time Deanne says that, I think to myself, could we charge $8,000 for business coaching? I think we could. Julie's like,
Sure.
yes, I could sell that. But, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, I always hated sales. And that was one reason I was hesitant to get into business with Julie, because I am the social seller. I'm the build it and they will come, even if it's not that much, even if it's not that fast. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Allison is a one-on-one client, so she gave we're worth it. Awesome.
Nice.
Hey, Fran. Not able to get here often, but do enjoy when I can get here. Aw, it's good to be somewhere that you can like find like-minded people and be reminded that, you know, we're all working towards the same goal.
For sure. All right. We have a big afternoon here at Socially Inclined. So if no one else has any more questions for Coffee and Questions, then we may dip out and see you guys on Monday. What are we talking about on Monday? It can be something off your list. Go ahead and tell me.
Oh my gosh. We have to pull up the list. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Wait. Oh, wait. I remember value. Okay. Wait, features versus benefits.
Yep. Or value over features, if you want to look at it instead of benefit. And what we're talking about is the features of your product. So people say, oh, you get, even with our product, you get 3 done for you posts. That's a feature, not the benefit. What is the
most
benefit?
People don't care.
Right. They don't care. It's like, what is the benefit? Okay, well, you're going to save, you know, hours on social media is the benefit. Like, we could list a bunch of benefits, but that's what we're going to talk about, is how to reframe. Because we just had a conversation. I don't remember when it was, but we were talking about reframing.
That was for over-the-shoulder tutorials in content class.
Exactly. So for anybody new here, you can go to our page and in the group, and you can find replays. I'm trying to sort of sort them by topic if I can, but I'm not positive. I've been putting topics on them. So for whatever you're looking for. But
our blog is a good place to look to, because you can search by text.
Exactly. And we have, in this whole repurpose for content class, we have been walking the walk on that one. So, you know, we take it's on YouTube, we pick it up, we have it on our blog, we embed the video. So we're getting some stats for y'all.
I cannot wait to see your date in the box, Tracy.
I know. We need pictures. You can come back and
DIY date night paint party. I'll have to give you. I'll definitely give you a first review. Fabulous. Yep. And we'll do designing templates, Deanne. Although you're talking about an email template and you're already set with those, so I would just say, watch for our Friday recap email, copy and paste it into a Word document, and then, you know, put your stuff in there.
You're going to find out the email thing is a lot easier than you think it is. So we can, like, the templates in there. It's going to be good. You're going to be good. And we need to, not Marketing Monday, but probably office hours. If anybody's interested, we'll probably try to work in some type of Canva. When you brought up templates, that made me think about Canva. So, and design, that's a skill that is needed for all businesses. So if anybody votes for that, vote now. If you're on replay, still vote. We'll see when we can get it worked in.
I think we need to add a Wednesday workshops live. Julie's like, I hate you. We'll charge for those, though.
Yeah, those will be master classes that we will charge for.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It's great to see everybody. Thank you for all the good feedback.
Exactly.
This is more about pumping you guys up, but I feel pumped.
I do too. I love these. So thank y'all for joining us.
We'll see you Monday.
Yep. If next time, come in, Be sure to say hello and share. Sharing is caring.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.